Oh, it's sad that when our minds becomes lazy and when we stop thinking deeply, we start to reject even the most obvious truths. Oh, it's sad. Dear viewer, this episode is especially for you, and especially for young people who are facing a wave of books, videos, and messages that promote atheism. These messages claims that God does not exist. But today, I will explore why believing God is still important and how reason and science actually support his existence. Welcome. Let me begin by addressing a common question many people ask. If there is a God, why can't we see him? Is it common? This question is not new, but the answer is simple but deep, very deep. God is hidden from our physical eyes, yet his presence is clearly seen through his creation. Just like we don't see the wind, but we feel it. We feel its power. We don't see God directly, but we can see his signs all around us, in the stars, in nature, in our own hearts, and even in our minds. Even during the time of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, non-believers who were Arabs, they asked the same question. The Holy Quran mentioned this, but honestly, I feel sorry when I hear people ask these kind of questions. It's sad that when our minds becomes lazy and when we stop thinking deeply, we start to reject even the most obvious truths. In the past, many such questions confused some people who lacked knowledge. But it surprises me that people today, with all the science and knowledge we have, still raise these objections. Let's try to understand this with some basic examples. We learn about things using different senses. We see with our eyes, hear with our ears, as you are hearing right now. We smell with our nose, we taste with our tongue, and even we touch with our hands. Each of these senses gives us reliable information, but each one works in a different way. I know you know that. We don't expect to smell a color or hear a smell, right? Do you do that? Do you smell a color? No, that will be nonsense. If someone said, I will only believe this flower is real if I can hear it, we will think they were joking or confused or even mad. But when it comes to God, some people demand this kind of proof. They say, I must see him, I must see God with my eyes, or I won't believe he exists. That's unfair and illogical. There are many things in the world that we can see. Is it true? Yes. Yet we believe them because we see their effects. Take for example, magnetism. You can't see magnetic force, but when a magnet pulls a piece of iron, you know the force is real. Or electricity. You can't see it. You can't smell electricity, or you can't touch it directly. But when you flip a switch and the fan starts spinning, the radio starts booing, you know electricity is working. What about love? Do you have some love in you? I have some love. No one can see love with their eyes, but we have all felt it. You feel it. You are feeling it right now. Love can make people do amazing things. It can make people climb mountains, cross deserts, face danger, all for someone they love. Just because we can't touch love or see love, does it mean it is not real? The same goes for emotions like mercy, anger, or hope, and even concepts like time and space. We can't physically touch these things, but we all know they exist. Am I making sense? So, why do some people demand to see God with their eyes before they can believe in Him? Can I tell you something? God is the most subtle and powerful being. He is the creator of everything, including things we cannot see. He is beyond our physical senses. That's why in the holy book, that is Quran, He Himself is saying that they have not understood the true worth of Allah the way it should be. If God were visible like a physical object, He would no longer be God. He would lose His perfection, His greatness, His majesty, His infinity. He would become just another limited created thing. Think about it. If God had a shape or a form, blind people will then say, we can't see Him. Show us in a way we can touch or smell. The cycle will never end. It will go and go. This is not a reasonable demand. Instead, we must understand that just as we believe in electricity because of its effects, we believe in God because we can see His signs and effects everywhere, in nature, in our lives, in the universe, and in the transformation of our hearts. Can I tell you a secret? This is going to surprise you. God's beauty lies in the fact that He is hidden to our physical eyes, but still clearly visible through His signs. He is unseen, but more real than anything we can touch. My friend, you haven't subscribed yet and you are enjoying. Please do me a favor. If you are enjoying, please do that. Subscribe. Thank you for that. Yes, my dear brothers and sisters, let me sit well so that we can talk. Don't let this weak argument take away your faith. You believe in magnetic force. You believe in electricity. You believe in love and even time and space. Things you cannot see. Will you now reject God, your creator, just because you cannot see Him with your eyes? Surely, you won't do such a thing. Therefore, where do we find the evidence of God? Everything in this world, everything in the earth, everything in this universe points to a creator. You should put that in mind. The order in the universe, the beauty of nature, human morality, the conscience within us, the unity in the message of prophets, and the examples of righteous people all show that there is God. Even you watching this smiling are a miracle of creation. The tiniest cell in your body, or the way your heart beats without your control, these are signs that someone greater is behind everything. Every part of life points us to God if we are willing to reflect. There is this strange thing concerning science and religion, because we learn God through religion, through science. Some people argue that science and religion contradict each other, but this is not true at all. In fact, the Holy Quran and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reject this idea completely. True religion and true science both comes from God. The laws of nature, the teachings of religion are both from the same source and do not oppose each other. They explain different aspects of reality. Therefore, religions explain the existence of God, science explains the existence of God perfectly. Now God is there. God is there. But with all this I've said, I would like to surprise you. Do you know that some people have a sense that there might be God, but still they have some questions. Questions like, why should I believe in God? Well, Listen, these are just small benefits of believing in God. Number one, if you believe in God, it will unite you. Therefore, believing in God, it unites people. It discourages evil. It inspires us to do good. Yes, it inspires us to do good. It helps us understand life and even our purpose. Believing in God brings deep peace and contentment in us. Without God, people often feel empty, I tell you. Even if they are rich or successful, they will still often feel empty. Believing in God gives us direction and hope. What about those people who do not believe in God? People like atheists. I talked about atheism. Know this. There is this religion called atheism. It has become a popular belief system in today's life. Yes, I call it religion because people follow it with strong belief and it shapes how they live. But atheism has many problems. For example, communism, which was based on atheistic ideas, they failed terribly in many countries. In contrast, the Islamic way of life, which believes in God, provides a system that works with human nature. You should know that today. Let's have a look at history. In the 18th century and 19th century, Western thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche, I think you know this man, Friedrich Nietzsche, who said, God is dead, and Sigmund Freud, who called God a human illusion, they pushed many away from the belief. At the same time, some Christian scholars could not answer the challenges from the science. So, people thought religion was outdated. Even some Muslims began to doubt. But the promised Messiah, that's where the promised Messiah comes in. The promised Messiah, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, peace be upon him, the founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, who was born in the year 1835 and died in 1908, founded Ahmadiyyat in the 1889. He taught clearly that God's words and God's works cannot be in conflict. He showed that Quran is full of wisdom and that Islam is fully in harmony with science and reason. A message for the young ones. Dear young viewers, if you are one of them, you might face questions and doubts about God's existence. You might hear smart-sounding arguments from atheists. Someone might ask you questions which you cannot understand. But don't be fooled. Real science and honest thinking lead to God, not away from Him. My 7-year-old daughter just recently asked me, Daddy, who created God? Wow, I just say, wow. This is my daughter, mashallah. It's a deep question, even from a child. Means a child also feels that there is God. If a child can feel there is God, what about you? What about atheists? But before asking who created God, we must first understand who God is. God is not like His creation. He was not created. He always existed. He will exist, and He will remain existing. So this episode is also for my daughter and for all curious minds who want to know the truth. What is the purpose of life here in this earth? We have been told clearly in the scriptures. Example, in the Holy Quran, I think chapter 51. It is. Chapter 51 verse 57. I remember. God said, I did not create jinn and men, but that they may worship me. They may do what? Worship me, men and jinn. We'll talk about jinn in some episodes coming. God says, I did not create jinn and men, but they may worship me. But how can we worship someone we do not know? For those people who are asking question, we don't know him. True worship begins with knowing God. Today, many people say they believe in God, but it's not only tradition. They inherited this belief. Deep down, many are not sure if God exists. Their faith is weak. This is not just in one religion. It's happening everywhere. Everywhere. Being it in Zoroastrianism, in Christianity, Judaism, Taoism, Shintoism, many religions, even Christianity and Islam. It's happening. This is the poison of today. The world today is obsessed with material things, money, fame, pleasure, me this, me that. These things cannot give lasting peace. They pull us away from God if we don't use them well. That's why the world is in spiritual darkness. Even many religious leaders are not true guides anymore. Truly speaking, yes, they talk about God but don't really feel his presence. What the world needs today is a true guide, someone who connects us back to God with both knowledge and love. And that's where the promised Messiah, who was prophesied to come in the later days, comes in. Dear viewer, as I am closing, this episode I made from the heart and personal experience of existence of God, looking at the nature, feelings, attributes. It is for you, for the youth, and for anyone searching for meaning. My only purpose is to share what I have learned and have experienced also in a simple and clear way. If God wills, this message may guide someone who is lost, refresh someone's weak faith, and comfort someone who feels empty inside. Subscribe to this channel for more episodes. Share this widely with your friends and family. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss the next video on this journey to understand God. Let's discover together who is God before we know other things. Does he really exist? And what does he mean in our lives? If we will be satisfied with God, then other knowledge will just come automatically. Until next time, may God guide and bless you. Thank you.